and thank you for joining us on this podcast. Welcome back to Speak Up, your favorite podcast for insights that matter. I'm Ryan, and today, we're incredibly excited to bring you a special episode focusing on life-changing lessons from one of the most revolutionary entrepreneurs of our time.
And I'm Priya. Thank you all for tuning in today. We're diving deep into the mindset and principles that have guided Elon Musk to extraordinary success. Over the next few minutes, we'll explore how Musk thinks about problems, approaches challenges, and continues to push the boundaries of what's possible. Whether you're an entrepreneur, professional, or simply someone interested in personal growth, these insights will provide valuable perspective for your journey.
Before we dive in, let me give you a quick overview. Today, we'll be covering 10 powerful life lessons from Elon Musk's journey. We'll explore everything from his problem-solving approach to his work ethic and how these principles can be applied to our own lives. Let's start with our first lesson. Lesson number 1. First principles, thinking. The first lesson we can learn from Elon Musk is what he calls first principles thinking. Instead of following conventional wisdom or copying what others have done, Musk breaks down problems to their fundamental truths. Think about this. When most people look at electric cars, they see what exists in the market and try to improve upon it. But Musk approached it differently. He broke down what makes a car, what creates value for users, and rebuilt the concept from scratch. This led to Tesla's innovative approach to everything from the powertrain to the user interface.
That's absolutely fascinating, Ryan. And what's really powerful about this approach is how it can be applied to any field. I've been studying how Musk used the same thinking when starting SpaceX. Instead of accepting that rockets cost hundreds of millions of dollars, he broke down the cost of raw materials, the aluminum, titanium, and other components. He discovered that the material cost was only about 2% of the typical rocket price. This realization led him to believe he could build rockets at a fraction of the traditional cost, and that's exactly what SpaceX has achieved. This kind of thinking challenges the status quo and opens up possibilities that others might miss.
The practical application of this principle is truly transformative, Priya. In my own experience, I've seen how this approach can work even in everyday situations. Take something as simple as productivity. Instead of accepting common advice like work harder or manage your time better, we can break down what actually creates productivity. What are the fundamental elements? Focus, energy, clarity of purpose, and effective systems. By understanding these basics, we can build much more effective solutions than just following conventional wisdom.
That's a brilliant example, Ryan. And it reminds me of how this principle can be applied in any career or business venture. Instead of asking, "What's everyone else in my industry doing?" we should ask, "What are the fundamental needs of my customers or audience?" This often leads to breakthrough innovations and unique solutions that others haven't considered. Lesson number 2, long-term vision. Moving to our second lesson, Musk's commitment to long-term vision is truly remarkable. While many businesses focus on quarterly results, Musk thinks in decades. Look at his vision for Tesla. It wasn't just about creating luxury electric cars. The master plan was to start with high-end vehicles, use that revenue to develop more affordable models, and ultimately transform global transportation to sustainable energy. This long-term thinking has helped Tesla maintain direction even during extremely challenging times.
What strikes me most about this approach, Priya, is how it influences decision-making. When you have a clear long-term vision, it becomes easier to make difficult short-term choices. For instance, Musk chose to open Tesla's patents to other manufacturers, a decision that seems counterintuitive from a short-term business perspective. But when viewed through the lens of his mission to accelerate sustainable transport, it makes perfect sense. He understood that achieving his vision required more than just Tesla's success. It required transforming the entire automotive industry.
Exactly, Ryan. And this principle applies beyond just business strategy. In our personal lives and careers, having a clear long-term vision helps us stay focused during challenging times. It's about asking ourselves, where do I want to be in 10 or 20 years? and then making decisions that align with that vision, even if they don't offer immediate gratification. This might mean investing time in learning new skills, building relationships, or working on projects that don't have immediate payoff, but align with our larger goals.
That's such a crucial point, Priya. And what's particularly interesting is how Musk balances this long-term vision with practical execution. While keeping his eyes on the ultimate goal of making humanity multiplanetary or transitioning the world to sustainable energy, he breaks these massive visions down into achievable steps. This shows us that having a big vision doesn't mean we can't be practical. It's about connecting our daily actions to our larger purpose. Lesson number 3. Extraordinary work ethic. Our third lesson from Elon Musk is about work ethic, and it's quite eye-opening. While we often hear about his 80 to 100-hour work weeks, what's more interesting is how he approaches these intense work periods. During Tesla's Model 3 production challenges, Musk didn't just work long hours, he literally slept on the factory floor to understand and solve problems in real time. He's famous for saying, if other people are putting in 40-hour work weeks and you're putting in 100-hour work weeks, even if you're doing the same thing, you know that you will achieve in 4 months what it takes them a year to achieve.
That's a powerful observation, Ryan, but I think it's important to add context here. While Musk's work ethic is legendary, what really stands out to me is his purpose-driven approach to work. He's not just working long hours for the sake of it. He's doing it because he genuinely believes in the urgency of his missions. When you're trying to transition the world to sustainable energy or make humanity multiplanetary, that creates a different level of motivation. It's about understanding that extraordinary achievements often require extraordinary effort.
You make an excellent point, Priya. And this connects to something I've observed in successful people across different fields. It's not just about the quantity of hours, but the quality of focus and dedication during those hours. Musk has talked about how he breaks his day into 5-minute slots, ensuring every moment is optimized for maximum impact. This teaches us that true work ethic isn't just about working more. It's about working with purpose and intensity.
Absolutely right, Ryan. And we should note that this level of work intensity isn't sustainable for everyone, nor should it be. The key lesson here is about being willing to go all in during critical periods while maintaining a clear sense of why you're doing it. It's about identifying those moments that truly matter and being willing to give them everything you've got. Lesson number 4. Continuous learning. The fourth lesson from Musk's journey is his commitment to continuous learning, and this one really resonates with me. When starting SpaceX, Musk taught himself rocket science by reading textbooks and talking to experts. He didn't let his lack of formal aerospace education stop him from entering the rocket business. Instead, he approached it with what he calls a knowledge tree method, starting with the fundamental principles and building up from there.
That's fascinating, Priya. And what strikes me most is how he approaches learning across different fields. Whether it's artificial intelligence, solar technology, or tunneling with the Boring Company, Musk demonstrates that expertise can be developed through deliberate study and questioning. He's known for asking detailed technical questions to experts, showing that learning isn't just about absorbing information, it's about engaging deeply with the material and understanding the underlying principles.
Exactly, Ryan. And this approach to learning has practical applications for all of us. In today's rapidly changing world, the ability to learn new skills and adapt to new situations is more valuable than ever. Musk shows us that it's never too late to enter a new field or develop new expertise. The key is being willing to start from the basics and build up your knowledge systematically, even if you feel like a beginner at first.
That's a crucial point, and it reminds me of another aspect of Musk's learning approach: his willingness to learn from failures. Each SpaceX rocket failure became a learning opportunity. Instead of being discouraged, he and his team would analyze every piece of data to understand what went wrong and how to improve. This shows that real learning often comes from being willing to fail and learn from those failures. Lesson number 5. Calculated risk-taking. Our fifth lesson today focuses on Musk's approach to taking calculated risks. When he invested almost all of his PayPal earnings, about $180 million, into SpaceX and Tesla, many thought it was reckless. But what people often miss is the careful calculation behind these decisions. Musk has said he gave SpaceX a 10% chance of success, but he saw that even that small chance of revolutionizing space travel was worth the investment given the potential impact.
That's a crucial distinction, Ryan. What looks like reckless behavior from the outside was actually based on careful analysis. Musk's approach to risk isn't about blind optimism. It's about understanding both the possibilities and the probabilities. He assessed that even if both companies failed, he could still maintain a basic standard of living and continue pursuing his goals. This shows us that real risk-taking isn't about being reckless. It's about understanding the worst-case scenario and being prepared for it.
Building on that, Priya, I think there's another important aspect to Musk's risk-taking approach. He takes big risks in service of big goals. When the potential impact is significant enough, like accelerating the world's transition to sustainable energy or making life multiplanetary, it can justify taking larger risks. But notice how he balances these big bets with careful execution and contingency planning.
That's such an important observation, Ryan. And it teaches us something valuable about risk in our own lives. Whether we're considering a career change, starting a business, or pursuing any ambitious goal, the key is to combine bold vision with careful analysis. It's about asking ourselves, what's the potential impact if this succeeds? What's the worst that could happen if it fails? And do I have the resources and resilience to handle that worst-case scenario?
Lesson number 6, focus on impact. Moving on to our 6th lesson, let's talk about Musk's unwavering focus on creating meaningful impact. What fascinates me most is how he consistently chooses projects that could fundamentally improve human civilization. Whether it's sustainable energy with Tesla, making humans multiplanetary with SpaceX, or revolutionizing brain-computer interfaces with Neuralink, each venture aims to solve major challenges facing humanity. This isn't about creating just another product. It's about driving civilization-level change.
That's such a crucial point, Ryan. And what's particularly striking is how this focus on impact influences every level of decision-making. When Musk was developing Tesla's master plan, he didn't just aim to create electric cars. He strategically planned how to transform the entire automotive industry towards sustainability. This teaches us that true impact often requires thinking beyond our immediate sphere and considering how our actions can create ripple effects throughout society.
You know what really stands out to me about this approach, Priya? It's how this focus on impact helps maintain motivation during difficult times. When you're working towards something truly meaningful, it becomes easier to persist through challenges. During Tesla's near bankruptcy in 2008, it was this bigger mission of accelerating sustainable transport that kept Musk and his team pushing forward despite seemingly impossible odds.
Absolutely right, Ryan. And this principle can be applied to any career or venture. It's about asking ourselves, how can my work contribute to something larger than myself? Even in smaller roles or projects, finding that connection to meaningful impact can transform how we approach our work and the satisfaction we derive from it. Lesson number 7, embrace failure as learning. Our 7th lesson is about Musk's approach to failure, and it's particularly enlightening. The first 3 SpaceX launches failed, costing millions of dollars each time. Most people would have given up, but Musk's response was remarkable. Instead of seeing these as defeats, he viewed each failure as a data point, an opportunity to learn and improve. He's famous for saying, "If things are not failing, you are not innovating enough."
That perspective completely transforms how we can think about failure, Priya. What's fascinating is how Musk and his teams approach each failure systematically. After each failed launch, they would meticulously analyze every piece of data, every component, every decision that led to that outcome. This wasn't just about staying positive, it was about extracting maximum learning value from each setback. This approach turned what could have been devastating failures into stepping stones toward success.
The practical application of this mindset is incredibly powerful, Ryan. In any field, treating failures as learning opportunities rather than personal defeats can dramatically change our growth trajectory. It's about asking, What can I learn from this? Instead of, why did this happen to me? This shift in perspective can turn setbacks into valuable experiences that actually accelerate our progress.
That's exactly right. And it connects to something I've noticed in successful innovators. They don't just accept failure, they actively seek out situations where failure is possible, because that's where the greatest learning opportunities exist. It's about being willing to operate at the edge of your capabilities, knowing that failures are not just possible, but necessary for growth. Lesson number 8. Build strong teams. The 8th lesson we can learn from Musk is about the importance of building exceptional teams. Despite his public profile, Musk's success has been built on his ability to attract and retain world-class talent. At both SpaceX and Tesla, he's known for having incredibly high standards in hiring, often personally interviewing key employees in the early days. He looks not just for technical excellence, but for people who deeply believe in the mission.
That's crucial, Ryan. And there's another layer to this. Musk has talked about how he structures teams to maximize innovation and efficiency. He encourages direct communication across all levels, eliminates unnecessary bureaucracy, and empowers teams to make decisions quickly. This creates an environment where talented people can actually put their skills to use without getting bogged down in corporate politics.
What really impresses me about his team-building approach, Priya, is how he combines high expectations with true empowerment. He's known for setting seemingly impossible goals, but then giving teams the autonomy and resources they need to figure out solutions. This creates an environment where people feel challenged, but also supported to push their boundaries and innovate.
And that's a lesson we can all apply, whether we're leading teams or working within them. It's about creating an environment where excellence is expected, innovation is encouraged, and people feel empowered to contribute their best work. Success in complex endeavors is always a team effort. Lesson number 9, stay adaptable. Our 9th lesson focuses on Musk's remarkable adaptability. Throughout his career, he's shown an incredible ability to adjust strategies while keeping his core missions intact. When Tesla faced production challenges with the Model 3, instead of sticking to conventional manufacturing wisdom, Musk completely reimagined the production process. This adaptability allowed Tesla to overcome what seemed like insurmountable obstacles.
That's a fascinating point, Priya. And what's particularly noteworthy is how this adaptability is balanced with persistence. Musk doesn't change his fundamental goals, making life multiplanetary or transitioning to sustainable energy, but he's incredibly flexible about how to achieve these goals. This combination of fixed goals but flexible methods is a powerful approach in any field.
Exactly, Ryan. And in today's rapidly changing world, this kind of adaptability is more important than ever. Technologies evolve, markets shift, and new challenges emerge constantly. The ability to pivot and adapt while maintaining your core purpose can be the difference between success and failure.
And it's not just about reacting to problems, it's about proactively seeking better ways to achieve your goals. Musk is constantly questioning assumptions and looking for opportunities to improve, even when things are working relatively well. Lesson number 10, unwavering conviction. And now we come to our final lesson, Musk's unwavering conviction in his vision. Despite facing enormous skepticism, financial challenges, and technical obstacles, his belief in his company's missions has never wavered. This conviction isn't blind faith. It's based on careful analysis and deep understanding of the problems he's trying to solve.
What's remarkable about this conviction, Ryan, is how it inspires others. When you truly believe in what you're doing and can articulate why it matters, it attracts people who share that vision. This has been crucial in helping both SpaceX and Tesla attract talent and resources, even during their most challenging times.
The key lesson here, Priya, is that conviction doesn't mean ignoring reality or feedback. Instead, it's about maintaining belief in your core mission while being flexible about how to achieve it. Musk has shown that you can be both adamantly committed to your goals and pragmatic about your methods.
That's a perfect way to wrap up our discussion today, Ryan. These 10 lessons from Elon Musk show us that extraordinary achievement requires a combination of clear vision, relentless execution, and the ability to learn and adapt along the way.
Thank you all for joining us today on Speak Up. We hope these insights provide valuable perspective for your own journey. Remember to subscribe to our channel for more episodes like this one.
And until next time, keep pushing boundaries and pursuing your dreams. Thanks for listening, everyone.